everybody, welcome to Knit TV. My name is Knit, I'll be your host for today. Today we're going to be talking about a lens that I just recently purchased. It is the Canon 10 to 18 millimeter wide angle lens. This is the STM model. So if you're in the market for a good crop sensor wide angle lens, please stay tuned. We're going to be covering many areas and a few aspects about this lens. So first of all, the first area that I want to cover is the build quality of this lens. This lens is pretty much made out of plastic. It's nothing to say good things about. It's just it feels cheap in the hand, I have to be honest. But that obviously it makes up for the weight. So this lens is very light, especially if you pair it up with a crop sensor camera like the 70D or the 80D. This lens you'll pretty much not feel the lens. The exact weight of this lens is 267 grams compared to the 18 to 135 STM, which is around 500 grams. So it's nearly double the weight for the big one, and this one is half the weight. Compared to the 18 to 55, that one weighs around 247 grams, so it's nearly about the same weight. Obviously, it's plastic, but don't worry guys, these plastics from Canon definitely last a few years. So the second area that we want to cover is recommended use for these lenses. Obviously, if you're in the market for a wide angle, you'll probably be looking at shooting at architecture, landscapes, or in very tight spaces. We're gonna be doing a test photo later in the video to test how well this 10 millimeter how wide it can shoot. Obviously, the far end of the zoom, 18, is the smallest range within the kit lens. So as you get smaller and smaller in the zoom range, you get much wider shots. Those wider shots can really help if you're trying to cram so many things into the frame. I'll show you guys a comparison to see that. For my testing of this lens, just shooting around outside and within indoors, the wide angle really helps if you're looking to gain another perspective or another point of view from your shots. Additionally, another recommended use is for especially vloggers or those who are trying to shoot and maybe holding your camera right in front of you at a very close position. This wide angle will allow you to capture more within frame, so you don't have to actually place your camera far away. That will also help with your audio quality too, so your voice is much closer to the mic. Now, lastly, the last area that I want to cover with everybody is the value and the price. So in relation to the sharpness also and its performance. So this lens, you can pretty much pick it up for around $260 to $270 around there. If you find a used one from eBay like myself, you can get a pretty much lower price, maybe around 200 sharp or around 190 around there. It does produce very sharp images. Towards the end of this video, I'll show you some test images I was able to capture with this lens. In the beginning, I was pretty skeptical because I felt that obviously this lens is not a very sharp lens. Sorry, it's not a really fast lens. It's not a constant aperture. Also, it varies between 4.5 to 5.6 depending on the zoom. So I wasn't sure whether it will capture good low light, but it makes up by the stability, the stabilizer that's within this lens. It will help you handheld more shots within lower light situation and capture pretty good images. Lastly, for video, I'll also show you a few clips, more showing of the STM motor, which is a silent motor within this lens. Hello guys, so this is a test of the video quality of the 10 to 18 STM. Right now we're at the widest angle. So let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see a perspective of how wide it can shoot. So this is at 10 millimeter. I'm I'm pretty close to these small Naruto creatures, okay? Not creatures, sorry, characters. So in front here is Gaara. But let me try to zoom in a little bit and then we'll test the focus, okay? So I'm currently shooting at, it's zooming now to 5.6. So first of all, we're gonna have tap to focus on Gaara. There we go. It's hard to see the focus on this lens because the depth of field is pretty, it's a pretty high number. But let's try to tap on Killer B now. Okay, focused on Killer B. Notice right now I'm using the mic right on the my 780, okay, and you don't hear any focus noise. So let's go to Toby, back to Gaara, Toby, Gaara, Toby, Gaara, Killer B, Gaara. So as you guys can see here, the focus is smooth, fast. Obviously, just make sure you have good light, okay? Lastly, value for price, I would say yes, it is a very good value. If you have a crop sensor lens, I would do highly recommend you get this lens. It's one of the very compelling reasons. Obviously, you can get other expensive lenses like the Tokina 11 to 16. I believe those are constant aperture, but those weight so much more. And if it comes down to getting the best picture and having the lens with you, this one is one to get here, guys. So other than the, obviously the build quality that we talked about, but thanks again everybody for listening to me discuss this with you. If you have questions about this lens or you're interested in purchasing it, please click on the link within the video. I'll be much appreciated. And if you like my videos, please click like and subscribe. I'll be talking about a few lenses and a few other tech topics within my channel. But thanks everybody. Bye. See ya.